Wow, thank you so much for joining us this beautiful Friday morning. Little video mwezi gw'omwenda mugamba mutya mujebale. Everybody from wherever you're watching us, tukwagala nnyo tukusiima webale emyaka netutambudde tugenda munana of MWASUZE MUTYA, and you're the reason this show is still on. So every day twongera okusiima okubayozaayoza okutambulira wamu naffe n'okuba nti mubaddewo ne mutuzaamu amaanyi ate ne mu seeking knowledge. That is the reason we wake up every morning okujja wano tuwayemu. We are closing the week and we have somebody amazing. He's been around. He's a radio personality in Jakuba Mokugamba very shortly. I'm sure some of you know who they are. But first, happy birthday to Father Julius Kanyike from St. Mbaga to Zinde Echiwatule. Yes, Father Julius Kanyike, abantu b'Osumba bakutumidde nnyo bakwagala nnyo era bakwagaliza amazaalibwa amalungi. Also, happy birthday to Nakajugo Grace, aka Mama Jason. Happy birthday wishes from Reverend Fred Semazi, Barbara Namazi, Michael, Erina, and Big Brother Sebaki J. Dan. Yes, there, Nakajugo Grace. Also, happy birthday to you, Brian Ainebiona, the man from Kavale. Yes, happy birthday, may God bless you. Mikwano Jo, your family, bakwagalira bakutumidde nnyo. Also, happiest birthday, my daughter Kansime Fortunate, the young, very hardworking girl that I know. Keep the pace on you. Okay, keep the pace on you, a winner. And also remember that with God, everything is possible. Age gracefully, baby. Enjoy your day. Greetings from the Saint Pewa family. Okay. Small greetings coming in here. Happiest birthday to, okay, Grace, yes. To Kusima, Twikiriza, Goishi. Okay. Happy birthday to you, Okiriza, Orikiriza Vera. Yes, from the staff here at NTV, we send you greetings. Yes, she's a guard here, security guard, very lovely young lady, very hardworking. Vera, I wish you a happy birthday. Also, happiest birthday messages going to you, Erina Moyeyebwa. More happiness from Maureen. Akwagala byonna ebiriyo era akutumidde n'amazaalibwa amalungi. Also, happy birthday to everybody else born today. Tubaagala nnyo bannaffe, Mukama abakuume era abawe obuwangazi musobole okutuuka ku ebyo bye yabatondera ne ku ebyo bye muluubirira mu bulamu. Welcome to the show. My name is Henrie. We have Mr. Henrie. Yes, in a minute tugenda kuba tutegeera who he is. MWASUZE MUTYA. All right, Mr. Henrie Arinitwe is in studio, and I'm here questioning him. Who gave you the Mr. name?
That's a very interesting question.
Yeah.
I started radio, I think, in 2012. That was in my senior 6 vacation. I've done all shows. I've done a morning show, a mid-morning, a drive show, a late-night show. The story of how I started radio is interesting, but that's a story maybe for another day. But how the Mr. came in, I used to handle big issues. Big issues. Yeah, relationship issues, life issues, like people used to, so they used to feel like it's not enough to just call me Henrie. So they used to call me Mr. Henrie, Mr.
So it is them. These people who call Mr. Henrie out of respect.
Out of respect.
Okay.
Because actually when I came through as a radio guy, I used to go by my names. I didn't need to Henrie, but then they kept saying Mr. Henrie, Mr. Henrie.
sense.
I actually first made a page of I didn't need to Henrie. Nene wabaya call Mr. Henrie.
nyakuwamba
nampamba. So I was like, let me own it. It's God given, it's funds given, so nenchitwalira out. That's
so
how I
ne
became.
page n'agikuwa
Yeah. No, like ngolaba nange nenkole yange.
Ate nga n'ebitiibwa biva wa Katonda.
Exactly. So nengamba kanchitwale mu linnya lya Yesu.
Ukuli otya, Henrie, you're extremely smart. Where are you going from here?
It's a busy day. I have a group of people I'm going to be talking to. Later on in the day, Kajansi, we are going to be talking about how to make money out of your passion, out of the things you love. And then maybe there will be in between there during the day.
Osmanyo olina kojja. Olimu olukojja kojja. Oba love doctor.
Just love doctor. I don't go deep. Mubi abakojja.
Ebirala abalala batandikira awo.
Batandikira.
Bw'obudaabuda mitima.
I think my niche is I've always been a good listener. I'm someone you will talk down, you will sit down with and talk to, and I really give you attention. And I like to see what other people don't see in a person. So if I'm sitting down and I'm talking to Farida, when you express yourself to me,
what have you seen so far?
You're a very lovely soul. You're a very honest woman.
That is not true.
A very brilliant woman.
That's not true.
I think it's the first time I've sat down and had a proper interaction with you. But I want to think Omutima go Simobi.
Henrie abalimba mubi mufu.
I want to think. So, you know, from the sessions where I sit down with people, my niche is to be that voice that people want to comfort them. My niche is
Good.
to...
And tuina abantu banja betaga comfort. People are looking for who to go to. Nadera nti abantu abamu tebakyalina budde bwa comforting abala. Everybody is battling their own problems.
You know, actually those are the people that comfort me. Nebanzamu amaanyi. Nebandaga nti byempitamu is nothing compared to what people go through. Oh yeah, I'm human. Like, this is flesh. Bonsala nange nvamu omusaayi.
You're a special human. Katonda gwe yasinikira favor nti tojja kubonaabona, tojja kubaako by'oyitamu bala by'oyitamu, because you have to be strong for the others who are looking.
That's the hardest part about the things that we do. Yeah.
Ogambo tebakuzaala Mbarara, right?
Yeah, Mbarara, Nyakayojo. That's where I come from. That's where my village is. Yeah, you don't know.
Uganda.
Yeah, Uganda. So if you've heard of Mary Hill.
Yes. High school.
Mary Hill, Mbarara High School is there. I actually went to Ntari School and Mbarara High School.
Wakulira mubiwala, Mary Hill.
No, actually those are single schools, but my home is just behind there.
Behind Mary Hill.
Nyamitanga there. Yeah, we are Bones of Mbarara. I'm a boy that dropped out of school because in Mbarara. Peer pressure. At some point, there's that point. I think I was from senior one Ntari School. Ngakavubuka kalinye kati.
Nkakutawanya. Ate sigo yali asula mabega wa Mary Hill.
Mbarara has always been a very unpredictable district and town, especially for parents, especially for abana abasomerayo. So I got caught up into that, but I learned my lessons, and I actually think that's the greatest foundation of who I am today. The things I saw in that period, the lessons I learned. Oh yeah, I did. Yeah. Okay. I did. I finished. I graduated. I did business administration. And the funny thing about me dropping out of school is that Sadda Mavega. I dropped out a term.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oli mwana chikachi, mwana wako meka, how many are you?
I'm a last born tuli babiri. Rest in peace, my parents, both of them.
Oh, sorry.
Ndi mwana wa kubiri. I have an elder brother. He's called Raymond Akankwasa, and my mother, before she met my dad, already had a daughter called Fiona. So we are a lovely small family of three people. Yeah. New.
Are you close to other relatives?
Oh yeah, I do. Actually, part of my growth has been fundamentally supported by my relatives, because my parents passed on Ganimutonyo. So I am this cousin who used to be at people's, homes, uncles and aunties for holidays. New. And it's also part of the foundation that I got to be who I am. because nothing has come easy for me, Farida. That one I can assure you. I've seen it all at a tender age. I know what it feels to be unwanted. I know what it feels to be an option in people's lives, and I know what it feels to be prioritized in people's lives. So emikono gyonna gye mpiseemu gye ginshapinze okufuuka omuntu ono gwe mulaba kati.
Omusajja omuggumivu.
Yeah.
Okay. Wasomera wanga jeko na Nyamitanga.
Primary school was at Rukunjiri Modern Primary School.
My parents baffled you at what age?
Ooh, my dad passed on when I was a toddler.
Like 4 months?
Less than a year. And then my mother, a couple of years after that. I was just starting primary school, I think. So there are family friends that helped me out on education-wise. There's a muchala bamwita Alice Tomusime. She had like an organization that used to take care of people, orphans basically. Yeah, so that's how I managed to maneuver through primary school from kindergarten.
So mami bwe yagenda wali otandise okusoma wali tanaba?
Nali ntandise, yeah, I think I was, but when she passed on, because she was the last to pass on, I had to be taken up by sorry, I have a sore throat.
It's okay, sorry.
I had to be taken up by my grandparents, so that's how we moved from Kampala to Mbarara, and then after that, family friends. Abantu bechisa, because the connections you make today are the connections that are going to look after your children, in case you're not around. Because no one wakes up one day and calls for their parents to be away. So the connections my parents had made are the ones that really saw me through school, and I was a disciplined boy growing up. I was
until you got taken up by peer.
Yeah, I think that was senior one, but I thank God for it because it opened up my eyes in very many ways. Nenjiga what it means to be a man and a boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So kami wasomera
modern primary school, so I go to Ntare school. I get chopped from there. Yeah, for skipping.
Primary?
No. Primary was Rukunjiri Modern. I passed extremely highly, so I went to Ntare school. After Ntare school, I went...
Ntare bagoberachi?
Vision Empire.
Mwatoloka.
Oh God, those days were crazy.
Mwatoloka.
Yeah, I was being a boy. I was being a boy. That was senior one actually.
We were dropping it out.
Yeah, everyone in Barara in those days knows my story. I became very famous.
Because
I was young, I was short, and the things I was doing. Then I could karaoke go
in Barara.
Yeah.
Waddukira mu ssomero.
Yeah.
Mwatoloka bulungi nnyo Akawungeezi ne musangayo teacher mu club.
The school had tight security. There was a guy called Sonko. I will never forget that guy. So he chased me down and grabbed me and took me. Nantwala wa headmaster na BMP.
Wali bwomu watoloka weka.
Twali banji naye bankwata bwomu. Everyone had their own story. No. It was just that excitement, I think. So anyway, yeah. Cut long story short, I moved from there. I go to Makobore High School. That's where I did from senior 2, senior 3, and senior 4. Okay. And then after I come back
kugoba is when you dropped out. Nga toyina eyali akuwerera n'anyiiga agamona amala sente zange.
Not really. Actually, the dropping out was way after. Nga bamaze okungoba. When I was...
You dropped out at senior 1. Yeah,
senior 1. Second term. Nga bamaze okungoba. I was trying to put A and B together because it was an indefinite suspension. Do you know what that means? Like you don't know when you're coming back. Bajja kweyiya bakuyite. Before in our era, fa batandika wondoza akagamba ako ka indefinite suspension, because before that it used to be expelled. But they say indefinitely suspended. And the headmaster was extremely close to my granddad.
You tried to box the gate?
No, the school had policies like skipping a face, and Tari school was extra. So long story short, I drop out, do my dirties in between there.
Karaoke.
When I karaoke. I was in touch with those people actually, but I was just a boy who was who had lost direction. I think, let me put it that way. Nebyo byagwa, I learned what I learned from them. God protected me. I've always been prayerful. I've never gone to bed without praying. So in that time, I always prayed, and I think God found me and picked me up from there and took me back to school. Friends, man, that time was crazy, Farida. You don't even want to
because I can imagine your type of friends at that stage. I
was working for some companies actually that I can't mention names. I was actually being paid. I was working. Promotions
drives.
So people wonder where I get the love for the mic and where the foundation comes from. I think I was born when I was speaking. I've always been a talker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kale ndoze bidongo bye byakutwala katugende tumulemu tukomewo tuwongere okulira emboozi ya Henrie Toba. Okay, thank you so much for keeping it NTV, Spark TV, Kwetuli live on Facebook. We are also live on YouTube. Tuline Arena Itwe Henrie, aka Mr. Henrie. He's a businessman, but known for his radio role. He works with Galaxy FM.
Yeah.
Yeah. Musajja bavumzala mbara, musajja yayagala umuzindalo from way back no muziki.
Yeah.
Negumodo samusomero. So bumala okwekola kola bina byewekola akabanga akatona ako.
Nenzirayo nenzikatira nensoma nno nemmalirako ddala. Teyankuba nnyo, it was a short period, but that taught me a lot. And yeah, nemmalako senior 6 from Barra High School. I did university. I was privileged to be on merit at Livingstone International University. I did 4 years of business administration because the university,
Livingstone International University.
It was just starting by the time I joined it. Yali Mbale. Most of the guys have been asking, how does my story link to Mbale? So when I call it a business administration, now Nemalako.
Walondo tio Mbale.
I had family there. You know, like how you've always been moving different places. So I had a cousin, a young at that time, he's called Noel Subuga. So when I finished senior 6, I knew who I am. I've never forgotten my story. I know I'm a boy that doesn't have parents, and I know that nothing is going to be handed to me on a silver platter. So if I tell you the story of how I got the scholarship at Livingstone,
so
we finished, and all my friends were going. We dreamt to do law. I was supposed to do law. It's the course I wanted. We had cubicles for the pre-entry, but I didn't manage to go.
Where?
Because one, it was supposed to be MOOC. One, I was up country, and then secondly, nali naita bulungi, but then there was no means for me to go for the pre-entry. So abana nebagala nebakola pre-entry ngebuzo byonna ebisinga nali mbimanyi. If I had sat for that pre-entry, I swear to God, I would have gotten sponsorship from the government. Exactly, I know. But
so muba mwetaga center maker to do pre-entry.
No, like picture it this way. You're staying with a cousin, you're in Mbale, like oliawo leyinzelo. Results have just come back, buli omu ali awo kubibye, like toyina kiddako gwe. So they went for the pre-entry. I didn't manage to go. It wasn't a money issue or anything. It was just a question of who is concerned about you now. For you, you understand? Because I was who's gonna be there for me? Who's gonna pay for me? So I went to that university.
Cousin yali akugambye no.
Cousin go kubira no gamba man kanzije mpoyereka ka holiday kano.
Sinti yakusomesa that level.
Na nagamba kale man jangu ekwate wano ku kido tulabe ekiddako. Of course I've always had aunties and uncles that can chip in here and there, but definitely oboyina okwefaako naawe. So to cut the long story short, I wrote my story to that university's page. an entire story of why I deserve a bursary, why I should be there. Their page, Instagram, no, Facebook. On Instagram, I was at Zinatandika. I got a number, I called it. No one picked up. I went there on the day of registration. I made sure that the registrar saw the story. Okay, we've seen, we'll contact you. So I think 4 weeks after, university, I get contacted by this university. And they're like, yo, come and study.
Already, what do you call a radio? Because you told me you worked on radio since your senior 6.
Yeah, so in that vacation, I'm not someone who sits and waits for things to happen for me. So I asked a border guy, random border guy, Mbale, Nemugamba, what is the best radio here? Nangamba, it is Step FM. So I reached Step FM, and there was a lady on the front desk called Sylvia Kasoga Siremererwa. She bounced me.
Fuluma.
I was like, nah, sibanga kona malala. But then there was another lady, she was an accountant, she was called Eve Nambafu. I even remember those names. Nangamba, so I went, saw the PD. Long story short, I did a demo. There was a gentleman called Alan Muchibi. Nangamba, boy, what down go to den, is this all you can give me? Because I had given him like half a minute of a demo. Nangamba, Rachi, wait here. Nangamba, give me what you have inside you. Farid, I closed my eyes. I used to listen to radio when I was growing up. It's the only company I had. I used to lock myself up in the room. When I saw Flavia Tumusime saying that she's done with radio, there's a pain that cut me.
Why?
I grew up with her. I grew up with her, like literally I grew up with that woman.
On radio?
Yeah.
Listening to her?
Closing myself up in the room and just listening to her.
Okay.
You know, like how you can listen to someone and get attached?
Why her in particular?
That's the radio that used to work for me at that time, because I was in Mbarara and Techigwa Burunji. So, and she really used to speak to me to an extent that so that's
you were crushing.
No, I wasn't. But she's, you know how you listen to a voice on a constant. I've had people tell me the same thing, that Henry, man, if you don't work, so that's why I don't take it for granted. Long story short, I closed my eyes and I said things I used to listen to on radio because I knew that's what I know how to do best. And the guy closed his eyes and told me, Henry,
you have the job.
No, he told me, you're the guy I've been looking for all my life. And he told me that I'm going to make you a star. And that's where we were. I started with a teens show. It was called G.com. But I outgrew the show. So there was this one Saturday, that gentleman, he was the PD at that time. He used to do a countdown show, Big 20 countdown. Now you're Henry told it. Nakuba show.
Yali ya muziki.
20 songs countdown. Like I brought us a different feel onto radio that no one had had before.
Where did you get all these ideas?
I think it's inborn, but I also listen, I research, I imitate. If I listen to you for a long time, I'll start speaking like you. I assimilate. So I used to listen to big guys on radio then. That's how I got the skill. Nenkuba countdown gatebanga ko mu Eastern Uganda.
Eastern Africa.
No, Eastern Uganda. I want to think. So guy naberanga and chipingamu. Opportunities came. There was a lady called Matilda Kihunde. She was doing a mid-morning show. She went on leave. I had to sit in. Then there was someone.
Akasente
kaja nasokera no kunkumi 5,000 Ugandan shillings. Not every hour, sweetheart.
Every month.
Every time I come, like transport facilitation, because bali bachangeza some. But so my first salary is a very funny story. One day I'm listening to radio and there's something called dead air.
Dead air.
Nesidika. So I called my PD and I'm like, why is the radio quiet?
Same
station. Nangamba, oh, you actually had that. We have a problem. The lady that does traffics, there's a department called traffics in radio, is going on their leave, but would love you to sit in. Take care of Bulango, you make sure that things play on time, make sure that there's no dead air. I entered traffic, and that was actually how I first got paid on radio. 500,000 in 2013.
Kwegamba about traffic, abadi behind the scenes. But in a very important okusingala presenters.
No, it's a chain. It's a chain.
Anti nonya kunyonyolwa lwaki.
Yeah.
Omuntu wa traffic. Bamusasula. Oba balabanga bakozesa for some time. This guy.
No, omuntu wa traffic asasulwanga. Just that I was omukisa gwankwata nge yaliwo yalina okuvaako nga banoonya muvubuka muto gwe bateekawo ali vibrant nenkiyingira. Long story short, opportunities came and I never disappointed on them because I knew what I wanted. I never forgot my story, and that's how I came to shine. I know you're going to ask me, how did you join Galaxy then?
No, wait. University tunagimaliriza.
Nga nsoma bwe nkola.
So ogenda ku university, ngomaze
nga ntandisewo akalimo, but the salary came when I was already at the university. So nga mbugattagatta obusente because they only catered for my tuition, but then they had a policy, you had to stay in the university. You could move out and do whatever, but you had to stay in the university. So nga nyina okwesasulira food, it was about 900,000. And accommodation, so give or take 1.6 is what I was paying for. But I'm glad the salary had come. Ngangata.
Or brother Walua.
Ngawali. Nenga, of course, you can't trouble people. No. You can't trouble. They chip in when they can. Yeah, life was moving for them. They can chip in when they can, but I don't want things to be handed to me on a silver platter. If you listen to me on the radio, I always say, wobo ino musai mu mubiri nga n'omutima gwo gukyakuba tosobola bula kiddako. So nze kiddako natandika ddo kinoonya, and that's how it happened.
Okay, so wabeera ku Step FM for all the time you were in Bali?
Oh yeah, for all the 4 years for university I was growing on Step FM. I became a corporate MC in the Eastern. Nasoka nokolako ne mabala ebyo kuba mic mu bala. But then there's a time in life where you realize who you really are. So byenensoka mbikakanyamu.
Ayo no lyali nitwe. Tonafoka Mr.
No kati akaka Mr. bakampa nga nakatani kukola shares ennene. Ku Step FM, yeah. Okay. Nava nakeri mukwano. Ka Mr. tekansanze wa. Nedda nava nakeri. So actually the show that I did that really made me known was the Pillow Talk. It was a late night show that used to deal with people's issues, relationship issues. So I would Mr. Wikafunira stamp.
Longer experience Joko Soku abantu ku radio ojijewa ngomwana, because at that stage obo chali nga si bantu banji who can trust you with
exactly. Ndimuwuliriza, I listen, I assimilate what you tell me, I give you time, and it's also a blessing from like God. Because nange simanyi engeri gye kijjamu, but I can talk to somebody and they feel comfortable. And sometimes when somebody comes to you, they already know the answer. Let's say, Farida, you're having issues in your relationship. Sometimes oboze kulopa oba tongamba oyagala muntu agenda okukwatibwa ekisa. Can you believe ankoze bwati ne bwati ne bwati oluvannyuma lw'emyaka ne bino byemukoledde naye nze kyemmanyi kiri kimu tosala gwa kawala nga tonawuliriza gwa kalenzi. But I used to calm those people down. And I think it was a new experience on radio that I think the late DJ Ronnie used to do it on Capital before. Nainga chali cha kakanam. So I brought the same experience back, and I used to reach out to people. And first of all, getting people to open up to you is a trick. They have to trust you. You as a person and then your voice. Now, I'm a young boy who has no relationship experience, but these are people that are married with children that are talking to me. Never zakatondo recho kumpa ndoza kuba kuganja. Yeah, and some of them even used to come and meet me. Omuntu nakuletera embuzi enkoko nogamba wowe yaye. I used to give those things away sometimes because Jukiranga and Charlie University and all that. But it was an amazing experience, Farida. I'll never forget. It's the roots that I have. People think what they see has just been made overnight. This is experience. You're looking at about close to 10 years of being on the media, 10 years of talking to people. It doesn't happen by mistake. Yeah.
Okay, so okola show yechiro, then you have to wake up very early in the morning to go to class.
Yeah, to university, the show used to end at midnight, give or take. So I used to have my time, and during the day, meanwhile, this is like the 4th year on the radio, my final year there. So I had already gotten my schedule on point, and I had already proven myself.
So in a campaign,
you look, as I wanted career advancement. I used to come. I even came here. I think Spark was not there before.
NTV.
It was NTV. Nah, I used to believe that I could do something on the media. Just like how I walked into Step FM. So but those front desk people, by the front desk people when they call, you have made people lose out opportunities when you don't know. You don't know how many times. You don't know how many times I got bounced on the front desk. So No, she became a friend because I think shortly after I'd come here, that's when I joined Galaxy. But if I talk to you, I make sure I get a contact. So that whoever I wait I used to come here and Farida bali mu compound.
I wish.
I know.
So wajja exactly choyagala okola mu bwongo. There were no
like I didn't have a specific show that I wanted to do, but I wanted to find out what's up, guys. I'm here. I can do something.
I'm smart.
I'm smart. No cutting and for corporate. I've not had a very bad taste in dressing. Sukuba balance. Siria nemviri nali sinazisibano
nenga French cat
ngandika boy kaweke ngandika boy nenga akamanyi kagala. Most radios here I put in my application. Let me take you to the Galaxy story. So one of the guys we used to work with in Mbale
ebyo bikola nenga eriyo kyalina omulimu
yeah nganonya kiddako because ngamanyi kati I need to go for the big fish.
Okay.
He was a producer called Timo. He runs the Recap brand house right now, one of the best production houses you'll find in this country. He trained me, he trained me production and most of the things. So, Naje Kampala, ku Galaxy. And of course, Nemuisamu Akasimu. Yangamba, he's a very wonderful guy. Nangamba, jango koleka demo. So I went to Galaxy towards the end of my Mbale career, nkola demo. So when I did a demo, it was exceptionally good. I'm always good at demos.
He told you?
I know, but he told me as well.
That's too much confidence.
I know. When I get on that demo, man, I kill it. Like, my life depends on it. Nkola demo nengenda. Do you know that I waited for a full year? I'd given up on Galaxy. I was quitting radio. I had a passion for tours and travel, and at that time I had made some connections because Mbale is a diverse town. At that time I was dating a German girl. Yep, life happens. So we were starting a company, tours and travel company. There's also a gentleman I used to work with, very good friends with Amos Wekesa. He's called Salena Minya. In Casa Tours Uganda. So Yante Kambia Tours in Anjigiriza. I went to all the national parks and I loved it. So I was quitting radio for tours. I had written my resignation because company atuuka bambi nga tekyasobola facilitating bulungi nnyo ate kati jjukira okuze karenti kabanja biki. So fast forward, I wanted to quit and do tours and travel because I had buli omu mu paaka wanamanyi paaka zino ez'e Uganda Kidepo, Murchison, Queen Elizabeth nga tusiba twenjeerera eyo, but I loved the business and I had made connections nga nfunye n'erinnya Danson Tours Uganda. Danson is my late dad.
Oh.
Yeah, I even have a tattoo of his name on my skin. Okay. So I had done a tours and travel company in his name. Fast forward, Galaxy name Peter. I came in as a producer.
distracting because it is serious business.
I prayed. Actually, Galaxy called me on the 31st. Do you know what that means? Tomorrow is New Year's. I'm like, okay. Guno mwaka katugwantandika bulungi. Bagamba jangu tulabe. But we think there's something you're going to do here. So I come, there was Mr. Mosh, Mariati, and Dicanio. Those guys used to do the morning show, and they told me, you have to produce these guys. Now Mosh is a guy I had grown up seeing on TV. So I'm sitting in the studio with him, and I have to tell him, get off air, time for adverts. I wasn't even supposed to be on air, but they needed somebody with a touch to produce them.
When you're starstruck,
no, like by that level, Jebakuwa no kakana. No mayanti boba star. But we ended up actually becoming very good friends. Fast forward,
what happened to the company? Omujamani
yaddayo twayawukana. It's a long story.
Tontwala speed.
No, we
mwatandika mwembi.
Yeah, twatandika fembi. She had an NGO that a great deal of people used to come from out, young people. But when I left Mbale, it was a little bit difficult. Okwasaganya, and now this was a new career, and she had also gotten a new career at her university. So cutting gave into being do you know that serious?
Okay. Olabanga wabala to leave a personal business that had a lot of potential.
I was young for radio.
For radio, or you had too much love for radio, you couldn't reject it? I had too much
love for radio, I couldn't reject it. The offer for the money was good. And this is, you know, it was an advancement in my life. And I pray a lot. So for me it was an opening to spread my wings. So nenzija ku Galaxy nentandika okwasaganya ebintu. The changes had to happen, and nze nali sikolangako gossip.
Lugambo.
Yeah. I had done a morning show, I had done a drive show, I had done a night show. Nali simanyi ne shows za gossip gye ziri. So they tell me terwali lungi nnyo, it wasn't prominent then. Bakabitandika kati. So fast forward, Jonathan Nalebo had to leave. Those were big shoes for me to fit in, because he was big when it comes to gossip at that time. Radio. It was like Jango to Lemo Lugambo, because the people that employed me.
It was abrupt.
It was abrupt. It was
production.
Katinga wanaba omuntu wano Farida notakuwa nebagamba gendo tulo kolechi MWASUZE MUTYA. I was like, whoa. I didn't have a story, I didn't have a what. And the first show I sat in was for DJ Nimrod.
Okay.
Mid-morning, the one that I do now.
I know Rwali
Runji, Ndikavubuka Kato, Tetina Rapo.
Olifala from Bali.
Exactly.
Tell me what happens in Kampala.
I will never.
Abatuze.
Social media, Jimani, Facebook. There's a comment I'll never forget. When I just joined, Guy Young Amber, you're not even supposed to be on radio. I was like, yeah, because it's part of me. But I did it. No, they share stories. The first show was a fire, but then it got many views.
So which gossip did you give out?
There were shows at that time, Waliwo concerts So I came with an opinion formula. Ono yayimbye bubi eddoboozi teryayadde lirungi kyekyantaasa. Because first of all, shows saaliyo. Kyekyantaasa. I had seen the videos ngamba naye ono nga yayambaddemu bubi kumba aba gossip bye baagala ebyo nempitirawo. But my team believed in me because they knew. They knew they would make a star out of me. Fast forward, gossip nemukola nga wamaanyi nnyo, and then Mary Ruswat, I had to leave.
Then you, because I had radio.
I had radio.
And Nali mumanyide the other side.
The other side. So she had to leave Newajja Wechituli in the evening rush, the drive show for Galaxy. And the team told me, you know what? We are now putting you in a mid-morning show. Now I've done gossip for like 4 months. Some people, the Galaxy. That's a crazy
We're taking
name.
a break to come out. Please don't go away. tukyagenda maaso n'emboozi ya Mr. Henrie. Yes, ayingiddewo e Kampala yajja n'amalo g'ag'embaale ne bagamunaazaamu abalaba wano. So you eventually settle in. Wayita ku shows mmeka okutuuka ku joyina kati?
Once I came as a producer, then nkola poko poko. Then when Ruswata left, they had to switch Nimrod from the mid-morning, a show that he had done for a long time.
Why?
They believed I could, and Galaxy is a team that always wants to outsource within the Abantu Bebaina Monda. So when Luswata left and Nimrod had to go to the evening rush, they sat me down and told me, we are giving you a big responsibility, but we know you can live up to it. Katiola antivamvuma kuya gospel ya nalebo. The mid-morning, there's a point where I just felt over, I quit.
Why?
Nimrod had that team. He touched people. It's like, this is a show he had done for, I don't know how many years, but for a long time. And he's a big brand. So you're bringing Nkoko or Jijemu. I don't know. Mr. Henrie, then then Katibone Vampera where Nkoko Tebaina Budde. But I took it. No, I was actually, I used to ngasisala gwa kawala, ngasiwuliriza gwa kalenzi, because I have some little bit of training. So if I'm to say something about Farida, I'll first have you on record, at least ngezako kutukirira n'ogaana. Then ngamba nagezezzaako tetunawulira kyayogera naye ng'ebiriwo bye bino ne bino. So I sit in the mid-morning. Good enough, I had done a mid-morning show before. So I knew how to handle a mid-morning. But the fans, reception has always been bad. Galaxy tojiba miracle. Like, people are religiously attached to their people. Bw'omujja okiringa katubokera Farida nga toli ku MWASUZE MUTYA. Ajjawo omu.
Ne bwaba how good.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter.
Oyina abantu abakwagala gwe nga gwe. Bw'ovaawo, they don't take it lightly. You know what I mean? So when Nimrod left, it was Nalebo were big shoes for me to fit in, but Nimrod was like a boat for me to sit in.
A ship.
Ooh. But I calmed myself down. The advantage is I had not listened to Nimrod before. Galaxy nalisi jibuliza nnyo. Najja na kyange ne bampa ekipya nga bawulira ate wanjawulo. Kati ne tufuna split. Abamwagala n'abatamwagala. And when that happens on media, you have a show. So that's how we got a show. We built it. Then n'abatanjagala never crossing over. Never da, because it's me. I'm not plastic. What you see is what you get. And I've been doing that show. I think I'm going to the 3rd year now. And boy, it's a family. It's, you know what I mean when I say it's a family. It's a vibe for me. It's everything for me.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a blessing.
So Okumanyi Kenyo is that show?
Even before, now Gossiper was really big. I'd gotten big, but then the show.
Did you feel bad living?
No. I'm always flexible because I've done everything, and I'm not gonna die in a mid-morning show. Maybe tomorrow I'll be in a morning show. Maybe tomorrow I'll be in a management role or production role or something. But mid-morning suits me. Mid-morning and night shows. It's who I am. I talk to people. So character yavaayo bulungi nnyo mu mid-morning, and I got people confide in me. I got people associate with me, and
there must be something good omuntu kyakola to attract people to listen to radio in the mid-morning when people are working. Because early morning is understandable. People are in their cars heading to work.
Definitely.
Yes, radio is mostly. Evening, today we are stuck in traffic. But morning, I mean mid-morning, to concentrate in.
Let me put it for you this way. I'm with you all the time. If you miss me on air, you'll see me on TikTok. You'll see me on Instagram. You'll see me on somebody's status. Like, there is sellable content. The reason why Galaxy is big is because the content, because if we say things here, Farida netuvaawo nga teri kyetujjeemu omuntu kyagenda olaba kyamisinze, the show is as good as not happening. You are on the mercy of someone who's watching with their phone recording us, kana sigaza. But the station makes sure that everything good content is sellable after. Which is good.
Actually, why? Community of society of adopting Olugambo.
Exactly. Let me put it for you this way, the world has,
is it deliberate?
The world has about 7 billion people, doesn't it?
To get 8 dollars.
Yeah. Do you know the reason why only 1% of those people are rich?
Why?
Buli omu yenna agenda mu direction emu. If you decide to go another direction, you disrupt.
Huh? So you guys came to disrupt.
We are disruptors, number one. Period.
That's why you even call yourselves Bazinyi.
Definitely disruptors, number one, and it's intentional. It's not by mistake. If you're there, you have to fit into the culture. Omanya abantu abamu balowooza ekigambo zina kiwemula. But it's dance. Come on, it's a vibe. When you listen from the DJs. Zina sounds better is young, youth, urban, yeah? Omuvubuka tagenda gamba bibya. Omuvubuka ajja gamba zina. But back to the issue that we're discussing.
Of course you use that because you, like you said, you confessed, you're disruptors.
Disruptors in the game, and that's, for you to disrupt, you either have to be different or you have to do things better than your competitors, or you have to, in the business game, cheaply. We are not cheap. We are just different and better. And I took that up as well, because that's the environment. I mean, I'm different, I'm better. If I say something on air, we record all the time. We will have to make sure that mulimu ekivamu. Farida wobango badde ku MWASUZE MUTYA n'ogenda mu motoka yo. You don't even have to put in Mr. Henrie nja kujja. You know why? Because what I'm saying, people are sharing it, are commenting about it. So nja kujja ojja kundaba ogambe ono guy ayogedde ki. And then if you will be forced to either listen to the show or you won't, but this is content I can sell after.
So you people are attention seekers. You know, at all angles.
It doesn't really have to be like that. You either have to follow the crowd or be separate. When you be separate, the attention finds you. You don't have to seek for it.
Katigwe Henrie,
yeah.
Mr. Henrie, what makes you different?
I'm genuine. When you listen to the mid-morning show, I'll tell you what I saw when I was coming. Because Farida, when you're driving, I don't know where you stay, but when you're driving to Serena, there are lots of things you'll see on the way. Ojalaba omukazi ayambadde obubi ku boda, ojalaba mama akedde okutunda amenvu. You understand, but it's your perspective. Ojamulaba nga taleeze, omulala amulaba alabe nga ali smart, omulala amulaba alabe omukazi alina ebizibu. You understand, like we have different things we perceive when we see whatever we see. So I bring that to you live. I paint a picture for you when you're listening to me. And the show is 5 hours, Farida. It's versatile. Yeah, that's why it's the best.
Don't you run out of what to say?
I have DJs in the shows as well that hype up the music the first and last hour. But then the most sellable hour in the show is where we talk about issues. Katika nkubulire Dr. Love at noon. Newe tubeera mu lutalo wano mu nsi. People will fall in love.
Of course.
Never wabawo chiso love is an issue that's not going to go away. And it's an issue I've mastered and know how to address. So if you come to me with a love issue, the first thing I did on the mid-morning, shona jua abantu. So get a namwe all the time munze abimala byonna nze abagamba. You guys tell me, like I ask Chechu Kute Squeeze. Chicho, I have confession Tuesdays, man. You don't know the content.
Beba confessing.
Beba confessing olina ngamba.
Ate tuine ebi story Uganda.
You understand. So like me being able to earn the trust eyabantu n'okungamba ebintu bye bangamba is not something I take for granted. It's God given. It's like a miracle. Because oyinza okunzija mu sheyo n'otekamu omuntu omulala ne bagaana obimugamba.
Exactly.
It's Farida, the people you have on MWASUZE MUTYA, the way they respond, the culture, the family you've built. Bokera novaawo. Omuntu ajjawo alina bajjawo bonna bonna n'afuna abapya na building ekiche. I don't know if you understand what I mean. People are
so
attached,
people are
the
loyal
biggest personalities
to
in the world.
Presenters,
yeah,
not necessarily the shows.
No, it's never been the show. The show will stay there, definitely. But the way you present it and the way you connect with the people is what makes you exceptional. When go muntu, people, I will go to Farida's, Instagram, social media. It's Generation Z. They are the people that we serve. Bali buli wamu. They want to see what is Farida putting on, where is she at night, what is she talking about, what is she eating. Is she human like me? Waliwa munyiziza. Farida nogende waka nokumango mukozi akunyiziza nogamba. Can you imagine Auntie Eunice? Esowani azozeza bubi. That is enough for them. They feel connected to you. You see, we are living in the industry is plastic. Abantu abasinga befuula nti bo oba bali mu movie.
Okay, it's all about my work,
exactly.
my work.
But at the end of the day, you're human.
We have seen you on TV in the morning.
Yeah.
You want us to see you the same way you are on TV on your Facebook, see you the same way you are on TV on your Instagram. What
your real fan wants to see is how you're putting on that heel and you're changing them. You're saying, kanoteka genda nyuma kanyambala akalala. They will be attached to you because you relate with them. It's what they go through every day.
You're showing them the other side of it.
It's you. You can't change it. Nzojja kunsanga kubbala nga ngula Rolex. Ojja kundaba nga ntambula. Omuntu ajja kunyimiriza wa boda njogere naye. I've been rejected so many times.
Bye.
I've tried very many people. I've been bounced from offices. I have tried to talk to personalities that have bounced me. Have you seen somebody ng'owulira omwegomba oyagala kwogerako naye naye n'otuuka okwogera naye n'akulaga nti n'obudde butabwina? You understand? I've never met Flavia, but she's one of those people, like personally, that I used to listen to. I've always wondered, ono mukazi tamanyi ngeri gy'akyusa mu bulamu bwange. Oba we musanga kinaaba kitya?
Lwaki tewagenda yo n'omulaba ku
Why? That's a story for another day.
No, you know what? I am what I am because I used to listen
I believe
to
it will happen. I have a YouTube show called The Deep Talk. I sit down and talk deeply with people. She's one of the guests I'm looking forward to having. So anyway, back to the point. Omuntu abazze okwogerako naawe. I'm not somebody that's going to shun them away because it's been done to me several times. I don't do it. I'm someone who gives people a chance. I mean, I want to hear chechi kuvaamu obodi muyimbi ngoyina oluyimba. I'm not going to rubbish it off instantly. I'll tell you emitendera oluyimba lwoyina okukola, then I'll listen to you and tell them chusa wano. If wobozze ngoyina ebizibu. Yesterday I was talking to a doctor, Farida. Doctor.
Nga naye ayina ebizibu bya love.
I wish I could tell you on air, but it breaks the...
I know, you don't say that name.
I know, like, this is a doctor who I go to with a health issue, but this is a doctor who came to me with a huge health issue. I was like,
health issue?
Health issue. Health issue. So you understand? That connection, that reception, abantu kukkiririzamu.
You must create a lot of time because abantu ba Uganda balina issues banji.
So this is what I did.
Banji bobanga tolemetenze oba togenda kola.
This is what I did before nga nakatandika okikola ng'omuya ayinza okukkubira maani n'abeera ku simu yo for 2 hours. You drive, go where you're going, you do whatever you have to do. Ate nyina ekisa kingi mbasobola mujjako. So I created sessions of sit down with Mr. Henrie. Mbajjako just akasente katini. But we schedule a time nengamba olunaku ngenda kwogera n'abantu basatu. Naye ono nja musanga wano oba mujja kunsanga wano where I am. Then I'll give you maybe an hour. Then you pay for my time. I don't even want that money. But I use that money to buy a chai. And I want you to feel like you're getting value for the discussion.
Also limiting the numbers.
Also limiting the numbers, yeah. Definitely. Lwakuba abasinga bali bweru. Omuya yakuwa sente ze nakukubira for 2 hours ng'atayagala oveeko. But I've not talked to somebody and they remain the same. Ekyo nkyebaliza Katonda. We have to find a breaking point. Sikuleka kyekimu. Okay. You can also talk to me if there are things you're going through.
I think ngenda kugamba next session eddako.
Exactly.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so bingi byofunye I want to assume with your platform now?
Oh yeah, I'm blessed with a very good voice. I don't take that for granted. Natandika okukola obulango.
Oliwulira ng'oyogera ne weegamba Henrie, you're wonderful.
Abantu
bagamba Mr.
Abantu bangamba. Now with the team, because you are what you are because of the people that are surrounding you. That's why they say, tell me who you work with and I tell you who you are. So I've surrounded myself with an elegant team of people that show me the way, that grow me. So
is that your workmates?
Some of them are workmates, some of them are friends. Nayingira space y'obulango. Natandika voicinga. Tukolereyo kagudi kameshoni ka Coca-Cola. Then Coco nekwenonyeza yennyini bagamba nno twagala ddoboozi tukoleyo kano. But through third parties, different brands, I wouldn't want to mention them for obvious reasons. So eddoboozi neriyingira market.
So kati abasinga bagala obulango, the one to use
nkola agency.
Oh.
Mwenajja omwo neŋŋamba this is huge. So nkola agency because nayinamu ka video production, nayinamu ka audio production. I have an idea. If you tell me nangire sawa yange eyo, I'll do it in an instant. So, and people got to know about it. The first clients I got gave me more clients. You come to me with your business, I'll help you brand it, I'll help you reach the right people. I do a very perfect audio for you. I think the agency has the best voices in the country. And
Henrie one. So inamuna voicing.
Oh yeah, I have female voices, I have male voices, I have young voices, I have kids voices. Tele business jenkoze nayo etafunye value for their money.
Bwebagamba.
Kati Farida oba katugeze oyina kyotunda nentandika okukola naawe. I don't do a one-off with you. I will have to make sure I follow up. Nenkubuuza twakoze ka 45 seconds kakoze oba tukyusemu approach. They tell me, they give me feedback. Like their ledgers are now balancing perfectly well.
Okay. Company bajitan?
Comfix agency.
Comfix.
Yeah, it's when I was starting that company, I wanted it to be fast ads because I wanted to do adverts faster and better, but not cheaper. But faster, because
the speed you use depends on what you're advertising.
Definitely, but the niche in that space is ojja kujja wa company X oyagala okola akalango batwale wiki 2 nga tonakafuna. So my focus, my objective is to make sure that woboze wange akalango nkakuwa in the shortest space possible. Nenga kali better than what a competitor would give you.
You meant faster
and
time
better.
You take to produce.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like return value has to be fast. It's a fast moving world. Oba okampadde ng'oli German, ng'oba oli wangu oyagala kalango ko. I have to make sure you have it within the next 24 hours. That's why I have a team of people abaka putting it together. But the name wetwatuka mu kuwandiikisa ngate liriwo.
Yeah.
Erinnya nerinkubamu awo erya fast ads.
Yeah,
so that's how I ended up with Comfix. Comfix stands for Communication Fix. So it's an agency to distributing. I can tell you Farida kat product joiner abantu balina okulabira ku station yeno oba balina owulira ku means zino obadde okozesa ba TikTok tebajja kukola si boonoonya noonya abantu ba wansi oba noonya. You understand, like I have a team, we sit down and study your business.
Okay. Do you have time for all this, or in any one of counseling?
Oh yeah. So here's a good thing. The people I counsel, I have a time I allocate them for in the day. And remember now, this is for now katim kachali katini. You have to go out there. When you see me dressed like this, man, I've gone to pitch. And when I go to pitch, I don't fail. Blessing. If I come to you to pitch you Farida and failing. No. Like, of course, waliwe bigana, but I make sure I touch you. Like mbako wenkusuna otagenda kwerabira. If I come to you, especially in the business world, mbako wenkukwata otagenda kwerabira.
No wonder Prima yali kushare tugamba mwali musisinkanye kola choba.
I think
but mumboze you ended up where you ended up.
Oh yeah, it was a beautiful beautiful conversation because I think yajja ku
I think she was heartbroken and she needed somebody to talk to.
Fast forward, I think she came to there's a show I do, it's called The Red Seat. So nchazamu different personalities yajja.
It's on radio?
Yeah, it's on radio. It's like a segment
within the 5 hours.
Not like a segment, it's a huge one. It's a good segment.
Okay. Ononyayo abantu ne bajja.
Ne bajja like kabanga katebe. Never get a different things. So I think that's the first time she came through. We got to know each other. But even the way we connected shows you the background of who Henrie is. Kulanga business ze netuzikwatako, and I thank God zaasituka zaasituka era nga zikyasitukira ddala.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's how you started. Then the other sit down with Prema and Henrie, something like YouTube.
Oh, it was a YouTube. I've always wanted to do a YouTube because Farida, buno bulambo tulimu. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow, do you?
No.
We all go to bed and we wake up at 0. But you want your children to know who Farida was. You want their children to know who Farida was. And that can only be achieved when we're documenting her. I don't know how I can politely say this. Tetwina beera lazy. Abantu balina omumanya. We have these gadgets. Video gy'oteekayo ku YouTube tevaayo. Mpozi ng'ogidiritinze. Naye ne bw'ogidiritinga kati waliwo TikTok zino. Maama nnyabo. Omanye amasimu g'abantu g'olimu. So document your life. Let people know what
because
you are about.
Because other people are documenting us and in the wrong way.
Exactly. So document yourself. Kolayoka YouTube, that's the idea where we got. It was the talk with Prema and Mr. Henrie. Prema is an exceptional woman if she starts to speak. Who else is going to speak to a broken woman other than a woman who has been broken before? You know it, you've seen it. So that's where the concept for the show came through. And nebolaba episodes ezaliyo channel nagikyusa, it's the deep talk with Mr. Henrie now, but content wa Prema samujjayo because it's exceptional. There's a woman out there who is going through what she went through that time kyeyayogerako ng'ayagala kiwuliriza.
Okay. Wajichusa wanonga.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Because it now had to be the deep talk. It's the same concept, just that kati byomukwano nabikendezamu. I don't have a figure to sit down. It has to be both ways. You have to have a woman and a man.
But there's so many women or ladies who can do that.
On my show as well. Because this was like a duo for YouTube. It was the monies had to be shared amongst us. So I'm reaching out to people that are doing businesses. I'm reaching out to people that have done exceptional things. But I want to think. Oh God, no. Love is the greatest gift of all, Farida.
I know.
Like, what is life without love? Love is power. Love is magic. Love can move mountains. Love can heal you if you're sick. So mukwano tegusobola kuntama nze nyina omukwano
batugamba gwe gwakukyaya n'okukyaya omanyi kiwagenda mu bitabo bya history
ebyaki
the first man to be chucked because they are too good.
I take that in God's name.
I know.
It's brilliant. Yeah.
What happened
between me and her? That's a private life that I will never discuss publicly.
Oh, you respect her so much, you don't want to talk?
Yeah, I respect her as a woman, but then I also respect myself as a man. You fail as a man the moment you start discussing your private issues publicly. So it's not worth it.
I know. But did it break you?
No.
Meaning now what you were tired?
I knew.
Oh, you knew it was coming?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
She also knows that I knew. It didn't break me at all.
So what do you wait to get?
No, really.
No, anytime it happens.
Farida, if I'm with you, I will give you my word. I will tell you, Farida, ngenda kwagala. But if I reach a point where I cannot be here anymore, I will go. Simububi, but out of love.
So many people try to Mr. Henrie. He had so much love about it.
No, I'm very perfect.
Then actually that brings me back to the Lwaki abantu aba counseling or aba consoling or aba bulirira abalala. Ate naffe tuwesanga mu positions nga we need a lot of help. Tulinga ababa failings in what people think we are good at.
Ojjukiramu ng'oyiga emmotoka.
Katugende tuwummula. Talk about. Thank you so much for keeping it. Mwase Mutya tuli mshindu chafe ekisembayo echa very smartly dressed Mr. Henrie.
Thank you so much. I take that in God's name.
So Henrie, lwaki ffe tusanga obuzibu to settle in?
I wouldn't say buzibu. It's life, and life is seasonal, yeah? There are seasons that come. And this is something I always tell people, the only way to love is to love. Like oba osazeewo okubeera n'omuntu tobeera naye mu bitundu ebisigadde Katonda yagera. Siggwa agenda oba nga asookeddwa okukyayibwa ate siggwa asembayo. People make decisions, you have to respect them.
And bw'obanga osobola okusettlinga omuntu azze nga afa omutima gumuluma bamumenye n'omulaga this is what should have happened, this is how you can go about it, omuntu aba alowooza nti gwe bibi atojjanga obizimbye obifumbafumba you're very tolerant, you're very patient, you're everything, you're an angel. Of course, nobody's an angel.
Nobody. Kyendaza abantu bange bamanyi kikyendi, like they really follow me. Mbagamba nange nti siri perfect. They understand. And webajje wange, they need to know gwe wachikola otya mani, because they have seen. They are coming to me for an experience they know I've been through. You understand? Actually, my clientele went way up.
After that breakup? After
everything. How do you know that it's a breakup?
Because it was.
Everything that happened, the people that want to sit down and talk to me enamba yeyongera abantu abankubira amasimu because they know and they so bagala kumbuza. Do you know how many people are going through worse than what I went through?
You did go through any
exactly
bad. Yeah, you did.
So what you are going through even worse. So bagala kutula nange balabe kikigo kikwasaganya otya. I was asking you before the break that woba ogenda kuyiga okuvuga emmotoka, who do you want to teach you?
Of course, an experienced driver.
Eyatomezaako emmotoka ng'amanyi wano radiator kati ekubye emmotoka okitegeera. You would want to learn all those things. You wouldn't want to just have someone who has learned yesterday to teach you. So people know ebiwundu babirabye babimanyi, so they come for the experience. Yeah.
So how did you heal?
Like
you know, man, I'm going through this. Help me, I can't contain it. Well, go to Gambia, what are you containing? But it can't be the same, especially if you loved this person.
You is watching, you probably want to write this down, if you may, or you want to look it up. Now, if I read Akainzo Kuyamba, there is a poem by a writer called Rudyard Kipling. Yali awandikira mutabaniwe, or you can call it a daughter, depending on, you know, the version of the book that you read. Yagamba, if you face victory and defeat and treat both imposters the same, then you are a man. Does that make sense to you?
Victory and defeat, and you treat them the same.
The things you go through in life do not define who you are. Bo kwata obuwanguzi n'okulemererwa byonna n'obiyisa kyekimu oba ofuse musajja, because obuwanguzi tebukudefininga. It's not you. N'okulemererwa tekukudefininga. You're not going to live in the fear of failing. You're not going to live in the fear of being victorious. You are going to be original. You, who you are. Farida, the praises that people give you on TV do not define who Farida is. Because togenda nazo wansi. Wetuba tukuyiwako ettaka zisigala wano. Abakunafuyiza oba ebintu byogezezaako, oyinza oba ogezezaako okola business nezigaana nezigwa butaka. They don't define who you are. Farida gwosigala gwenga Farida. Oli muntu. Techikujjako ka buntu. So that's how I handle my life. I didn't have to heal, or it's not the first one. I've been through rougher and tougher. And I know I'm going to get better, or even better. It's life. It's seasons. But I treat victory and defeat the same. They don't define the man that I am. Yeah.
Okay.
And I want you to understand that everything that happens in life happens for a reason.
And for a common good.
And the only problem is that if you don't learn and don't use that as eddaala eryokulinnyirako n'ogenda ku level endala. Everything that happens to you needs to give you the power, the energy, the zeal to be a better person every day. Because like I said in the previous segment, ffenna bwe tugenda okwebaka, we all wake up at 0. Do you know that? Oba inotandika olunaku olupya. So regardless whether you're happy or sad, whether you have or you don't, the sun will shine in the morning, and your situation, your emotions cannot make it fail to set in the night. Katonda takola nsobi. Singa Katonda yali akwatibwa nnyo ekisa, he would say bannange Farida alumwa omusana tegenda kwaka leero. You understand? The sun will shine in the morning and it will set. Sometimes it rains, sometimes it doesn't, but light will come and darkness will come. Definitely.
So which lessons? The statement she made of how you were too good for her. At least the people who thought I was in for something, brand is things like he's a smart, smart that something. Did it comfort you, Gamba? At least she acknowledges that I did my part.
It. Of course, social media blew it to a totally different proportion.
We love you.
I've never been bad. I'm not a bad person, regardless to who. Sibangako muntu mubi, because mukubeera omubi tebagabaayo birabo. Humility is a gift that is given by God. Beera nakyo. I want to think that shows you that maybe she appreciates who I was, and I thank her for that as well. It didn't comfort me per se, mboba nawulira nga nzeemu emirembe mba tebagenda kundabira mu angeri, but like the same energy gye yampa okumanya nti nali muntu mulungi eri ye, it's the same energy she's receiving. You'll never hear me badmouth her. There's something I said a couple of weeks ago, abantu ne baki blowing out of proportion, omanyi tukola sometimes so woyogera ekintu abantu bayinza okufuna akantu ne bakeesibako. I had to make sure I call her and find out if she's okay.
It is the first time you two were speaking after?
No, we talk
a lot.
Not a lot, but we talk because we are not enemies. But I had to make sure that she wasn't hurt by that statement, and she told me nah. So awo nze nenzikakkana abasigadde newe mwogera bye mwogera, omuntu gwe muteeka mu context wasn't hurt by that statement, and that's enough for me.
Is it a fact?
It was a question lwakuba abantu bagisalamu ako ne bakinjogeza, but it was a question amidst ebibuzo ebirala bingi. Uli Farida.
Love kati ogitya. Forget that love is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It is a unifying factor. Buli omu yandigitestinzeeko naye wabawo ekikutomera.
I'm going to ask you a very difficult question. I hope you don't take it the hard way. Omuntu gwoli naye saa zino gwe wasookako?
Of course not.
Gwe yamusookako? Are you the first one to be in his life? You understand what I mean? Life is a journey. Farida obanga wali olinyeko basi
nga ngende Kenya
n'otuulako n'omuntu oba kale, have you ever been on a journey with somebody and you enjoy the conversation and you enjoy the time, and then time reaches where that person has to go, aviiremu ng'ebusembatya nga mugenda mbaale nga gwolina okweyongera? Does that stop you from moving forward with your journey?
Actually, if possible, you get the next neighbor.
Definitely. So that's how life is.
So have you got the next neighbor of that bus?
I'm focused right now on my businesses. They are growing. Nakakola wakantu akapya bakaita Pearl Hunters.
Business.
No, what I mean, like wanajjo omutuufu wallahi nja mwagala. Oh yeah, kati nga lwaki nedda. Nze nyina omukwano Farida, because
naye atoteka kubanga olina abawala bangi abakutawanya
mukaboksi mwebali,
your voice,
mukaboksi mwebali, the
you're a nice
been
looking
there.
man, you're a love. Ate kati kano kebatugamba you're too good. But also there is a statement ekolebwa ennyo, good boys basaffaringa kinene nnyo naddala mu nsonga za love. Is it a fact?
Yeah, true. Good people, good-hearted people, not only boys, ne babakyala naye kibajjako fact yokuba nti bakyalina omukwano. Nze bwe nfuna omukyala mugamba ngenda kwagala paka. Farida, when I give you my word, It's my word. Mbanku gambye. Whether tusobola oyitamu buli kimu. Kibuyaga jja tuyuya tukole ki, but when I'm being real to you, I'm somebody that will love with everything that I have. A man in a woman's life is supposed to be compassionate, like companionship. I'm supposed to protect you, provide you, and perform my marital duties as a man. That's all I do, and make sure I elevate you. It's who Henry is. That's how I love.
How do you handle?
Ezimu ziyitamu abasinga bajjira mu business naye ng'olaba era ayagala birala, ayagala gezaako, but it's life. You tosobola kigaana. You understand?
Oyagala naawe omwana gwe weefunire n'ogamba ono nze mwekwanidde.
Bw'ajja omumanya Farida, bw'ajja omuwulira, okiwulira mu mutima n'omanya nti kati ono azze n'omuwa time, then ne mutambulira awo bw'ajja. Omanyi Katonda yatukweka emitima, tosobola laba muntu kyalowooza, but there's that feeling and the emotion of love. Weebezze ogiwulira and you give it a try. You won't die. Simply because subject A treated you a certain way, or simply because subject C treated you a certain way, alphabetical order oba tonagibalayo. Nze ndabanya abakyala nga bagamba abasajja mwenna mufaanagana.
Bamazi.
Tonnabafuna bonna, tonaakunfuna mukwano.
Tanafuna Henry.
Tanabafunayo Henry we. It doesn't have to necessarily be me. Naye abatanabafuna oyo muntu.
Naye oyagala mukyala kikaki?
I'm not somebody that looks at the physical appearance. Ndi muvubuka atambula ku speed eya yiri. And behind every successful man there has to be a woman. Life is lonely if you're living it alone. Life is extremely lonely. Katonda takola nsobi. There's a reason why he put a man and a woman. Do you know when you go back home, ngenyumba ekutunuulidde ng'oliweka, you feel incomplete. You're like, obanze nyina kizibu ki? And besides, when you're in love, Farida, when tula nawe ng'oli mu mukwano, there's an energy that you emit, okitegera, positive vibes. So if
okukakananga omukyala kika kigoyagala.
Omukyala
what
yenna,
attributes must they have?
I don't look at the appearance, I look at the heart. You have to be loving. You have to be, olina okuba nga olina kyonyongerako, like tulina okwezimba ne tekwata ku mukono. For some people that's a fallacy, for some people it's tekisoboka. But there's still somebody out there. It's a world of 7 billion people. Omukyala wange ayinza oba talina mu Uganda ng'ali eyo ng'ebuyindi oba Germany oba wa.
Kati ogenda tambula ensi eno.
I believe in traveling, man, all the time. The world is a global village. Tetwesiba mu Uganda yokka. So you never know. Wabazze nja mwaniriza naye nga guba mutima sindabika ziba mpisa buba bukozi.
But also,
yeah,
is it true?
Yeah.
People in the public eye find a lot of issues, first of all deciding on who to go with, but also settling in, because there's a lot of distraction.
There's a lot of distraction and it's like a spotlight. Everything is on you. Manyi torch ng'ogikubye mu nzikiza ng'olina w'olaba. So the light is shining on you. Woba oyaka otomera. Kyobola abasinga abaaka batomera. Toyaka kakana, nze ndi muntu mukakamu. And I don't see myself as a celebrity. I don't see myself as somebody who is in a public eye. I see myself as a guy who hustle gwekanyuzeeyo. Kyenkola ate sigenda fiira wenkyanja kuvaawo nga waliwo omulala aliwo. That's why I'm preparing for my grandchildren even before I have children. That's why I have 3 companies right now working. That's why I work tirelessly to build other people's businesses. So saaka ndi mukakamu, and I want somebody to love me for me. Alinitwa Henry, not Mr. Henry. Mr. Henry ajja kuvaawo tubalabye okitegeera. Farida ojja kukeera nga toli wano ku MWASUZE MUTYA nga like now life happened. Either ojja kukula oba okole business zo oba obeere n'ekiddako. You understand? So the person you're with in your life needs to love Farida. Nakazibwe. Si Farida atudde ku MWASUZE MUTYA, si Farida gwalaba mu butaala.
Naye baawukana nnyo.
Oli mukyala ensi yonna ekulaba.
Oli ajja ng'alaba Farida atudde waawo ne Mr. Henry for 2 hours.
Thank you.
N'atamanya the baggage of the weaknesses I know when she's off air.
Exactly. Aina kwagala muntu. Somebody needs to be with you when you have and when you don't have. You understand? Nga toyinaamu kati nga ebyaddala gwe nga gwe. Someone needs to see your tears. Akulabe ng'omenyese. Va ku bino bye twegumya nti tuli mu kamera. Nze maani bonsanga mu time zange. Even actually some people I talk to in our sessions of sit down balaba nga I get a little, no sikaba nawe. No, sometimes I get a little bit emotional because when you sit down with me omutima ngubikula neyambula nenkubulira buli kimu. Nengamba sigwa soso kiyitamu. So omuntu oyo gwe balina okwagala. Tebalina kwagala kiroboozi kye bawulira ku radio, simanya ayambadde bw'ati, bino byonna biggwaawo mwenkera nga
naye ekiroboozi ekyo okikolako okikolera oba kiri natural tonywa amagi
na ate kati nzize nnyinamu kasenyiga singa mbadde kwala
singa sikyetegeera
gyogamba osobola obutetegeera
engeri gyokyogeddemu singa ompuliddeko mu time eri.
Yeah, but the good thing is all my content is available. Osobola oteekayo wonna wonna n'ondaba.
Do you have any regrets in life?
We've messed up, we've made mistakes. It's a journey, everything is seasonal. But buli kimu kyonna, I will take you back to that poem, Rudyard Kipling, if you meet victory and defeat and treat them the same, you'll be a man. I use them as stepping stones. Buli kimu. Nze Katonda takola nsobi man, Farida. Buli kimu kyampisaamu njigiramu. So I learn and learn how to be better. Ekirungi Katonda kye yampa nti nebuulirira like omutima gweyogerera nengamba wano nonsobezaamu. I acknowledge mistake.
It's a very, very good trait.
I acknowledge mistake and I know.
Abantu abasinga anoonya kati ani kino gwe nkiteekako.
Exactly.
Even when their relationships fail, anoonya gwe akiteekako.
I know.
It is never about them.
Definitely. Relationships are bound to fail. You work. The third stage of any relationship is commitment. You meet, you see someone, Farida no mwagala, then you get to know them, then you commit. That's where abasinga bakongokera. Commitment is very key because now you're committing to a real person. Abasinga akagoba wekagweramu awo n'agamba
lwakinkuwa commitment
ekitegeera ntadde alejjukira kati tuli mu generation Z 21st century. Love is a business. So obanga tojjaamu oli atema butemi batini nnyo abasigaddewo abasobola osigala naawe ne bakomiti.
Ate bwe bagamba love is a business, there is a way it sounds very scaring. Oba yongera okidissectingamu katono baba bategeeza ki, is it this business where we have to exchange money, or you may have the money, I may have something that is something like control, something that calms you down mu byonna ndize sijja kuwa sente.
How can I put
oba kirina okubaamu sente on both sides?
Generation yakati erina okubaamu sente because omwana atunuulidde musajja okyusa ebyewaabwe. People have generational curses they have to break. So abaalaba nga omusajja alina okimumalira, gwomanyi abawala abalina abasajja be batayagala but because of what they provide. You know what I mean? It takes discipline, it takes gwokwemanya n'ogamba nze ngenda kgenda n'omuntu because omutima gwange gwe gwagala. Naye abaana b'ennaku zino naddala abavubuka, the generation Z that we have from 25, 27 down, kika
bakisusiza
kika olina okujja olina obbaako byoteeka ku mmeeza.
Actually baleka baakutama n'okutama.
Anize back to what I said.
Is that the reason why tulaba abavubuka kaya tebakyayagala baana abo ba 25 ngolaba yeyandibadde amusaana at their age n'agenda for the one on the upper side?
Obufumbo abantu bwabatama abafumbo abali waggulu eyo, and it has happened before, ne bafuna ne babeera ba sugar daddy b'abaana. This is something that it's a problem that has been happening nga kikula bukuzi. So netuuka mu time nga abavubuka tebalina bawala be basobola kwagala kubanga bazaddi babatwala. You understand what I mean? Omuwala alina gw'ogambako alinayo omusajja and they are okay being number 3, number 4. Alinayo omusajja atagamba mwagala ndi comfortable.
Kati abavubuka amalira ebizibu byange.
Exactly. Abavubuka ne babeerawo nga batagala abawala bangi.
Actually abavubuka we bali awo wakati, but they also side for these girls.
yandiyagadde omwagala naye bambi by the time there are some basics you're not going to change. Okula n'ogenda mu ssomero n'ofuna omulimu n'ofuna assets, you grow, it's a process. So by the time omuvubuka watuukira ku eyo level ng'omuwala ate ali ku speed ya waggulu because abawala babajja ne mu masomero 18 ng'ekisajja kyamuwadde dda markex, omuvubuka wa 18 markex agenda jijjawo.
Oyo talina kwana akwanira ki?
Abiri kale abiri mwesatu. But you understand what I'm saying? Omuwala na abiri mwesatu ye baba mukwanye dda nga bamututte wali mu apartment nga n'okuzaala azadde. So kati omuvubuka naye n'asigalawo ng'atagala. Kyova olaba ne bimmami ennaku zino bettanira nnyo abavubuka abo kubanga the only thing they have to offer is attention. Omusajja yafuna kariita kabiri mwesatu yamanya n'agamba nze najja kufumba kaŋŋome kati mami nene bw'alabayo ka Amos oba ka John.
So that is the reality of
it is a
now.
problem that has been rooted from down and it's like a cancer. It's not gonna end now. Just muntu kwebulirira n'omanya ky'oyagala because at the end of the day,
do we still need marriage?
Definitely, it's an institution created by God. Every man needs a woman. Bijja kutereera tuli mu lutabaalo kati tujja kwevulungula buli omu afune gwe yeekwatako kyembakuutira Farida oba ofunye omuntu. It's not possible, it's worse. There's something I can't say here, but it's getting worse. Tetukyayagala abantu betulina kwagala. People have the same sex, you know what I mean? But oba ofunye omuntu ng'omwekutteko akagalo bw'oti ng'olaba yeye nyweza tota. Ebisigadde birekere Mukama. Nyweza tota, do right. Kola by'olina okukola. Wekigaana, have enough confidence to let go. Because if you cling on ekintu nga kigaanye, you're depriving yourself of happiness. You're depriving of yourself the privilege to live. Katonda yatutonda bw'ati Farida. The power God gave you, olinga a mini God. That's why you can think of manufacturing this cup and it happens. But you're not going to do that. You're not going to create. You're not going to be innovative if you're not happy. If you're not yourself. Love is a bonus. It's a privilege. Wobanga ogiwadde ono n'avaawo tekitegeeza nti tolina mulala gw'aggiwa. It's a cup that is overflowing. It will never run dry. If subject A has failed to accommodate your love, let them go. Learn from it. Do better with subject B. C, D, E, yagala, because it's a gift from God.
Alphabet is after
definitely. Wotoka ku Z tandika 1, 2, 3. Wezigwayo kola numeral letters.
Henry, what's your dream?
My dream is to be as big as I've never imagined. I thank God that I've been big at such a young age. I've registered companies. I handle.
Really, how old? 26?
Yeah, 26. Turning 27 this year.
Oh, cause
yeah.
Some of your age mates, but they haven't even figured out the first thing to do.
And see, I've seen it all. I've done it all. My dream is to like, my dream is to touch every person's business in a particular way. If I don't engage with you physically, at least baako kyolaba ku page zange onjigireko tandika business because of what you saw from Henry. I used to be under pressure. I used to there's a term called temumfuna bobi. There's a term called intellectual masturbation. It means arousing dopamine in your mind by talking about things like nze njagula ettaka nja kuzimba apartments ng'owulira osobola okubikola naye nga you don't walk the talk. I am at a stage in my life where I walk the talk. You understand?
Which are in unrealistic.
No. Everything I think about, the dreams are big, but at least inaka baby step kenkoze okulabika nga ntuukawo wendaga.
Yeah.
So my dream is to touch lives out there and change them. Farida, if I sit down and talk to you, MWASUZE MUTYA, talk with you, I want you to remember this conversation. Like, I want you to know that one day I hosted Henry and he said something that touched me and changed my life. I want omwana ndabe eyo essaawa zino amanye nti buli kimu kisoboka. This is not something that has been handed to you on a silver platter. Man, mpise mukasasiro buli omu yenna gw'omanyi.
Wali omuvubuka ali 26 and above, below 30 nga tannaba kufuna even quarter of what you have achieved. To achieve that, is it about money? That Henrie, well, yafuna platform, naye yayina sente ze yakozesa okutandika this. What do they need? Because the money they probably don't have. Better gachina to be as just half successful as
discipline.
Discipline. They are looking at money to make them start.
Money is a mode of exchange. Zituitambwe ziti encho zina leroto zina. Zituitambwe ziti. If you're disciplined and learn the language that attracts money, it will come to you in a very easy way. Just very disciplined. God will work with the opportunity say, and do the things that make you happy. At what you see is a testimony that everything is possible. If Google Nyakayojo and see how it looks like, Nyakayojo, the village. Woita okusomero nkugambe kati otandika olaba abasindika obugaali bw'amatooke ng'emmotoka zikendera n'olaba epiki n'olaba okitegeera n'olaba ente kati nga zisala mu kkubo. That's where I come from. But I'm here talking to you guys on MWASUZE MUTYA at 26 with 3 companies registered, running and having a turnover that is not bad for you. Do you know you're going to get to a point that finding a life partner is hard? Life partner? Because when you now become even more successful than you already are, people who are going to love you genuinely back in there. Do you know why Bill Gates split with Melinda after all those years? Why? Because he chose himself. Elon Musk, the richest man, doesn't have a woman. He has been heartbroken. Is that the direction you want to take? No. It's a bonus. It comes and goes. You, as you. Confix Agency, we run by a slogan, building legacies. That means that you have to make a, like Oina, building a legacy, etagenda kuvao. Now you can't build a legacy when you're being weak to emotions like love. Accept them, enjoy them, but Farida nakazibwe agenda lekachi chebagenda okujukira. Henrie ajja kujjayo kone ku Farida yekwateko aveewo. Amosi gundi mwogere erinnya munaffe. Yenna ajja okujja. It's a bonus, it's an addition. Let's get out of here. Your agement. One last thing in 2-3 words. It doesn't matter where you come from. Yep. It doesn't matter who you are. Your dreams are valid. Very valid. Work upon them. Be disciplined. And God. Well, wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Henrie. We wish you all the best. It's a pleasure to be here. Bana Masaka, all people from Masaka and friends of Masaka, it is September already. We have less than 2 weeks. Yes, our event, Eyoksisinkano Kumanyakana and Fate Feast, it was September, the Gogo Cricket Oval. You can pass by Jude Color Solutions, Kampala Serena Conference Center, at Vested Investments in Wandegea, and also Shell Gogo. Get yourself a ticket. Let's meet on the 17th of September. God bless you. See you on Monday. Bye-bye.